Last year, India's Environment Ministry launched an ambitious Green Wall project. It is not about painting a green wall. The Green Wall project aims to plant native species of trees and shrubs on degraded forest land. The project will form an extensive green belt buffer which will be 1400 kilometers long and 5 kilometers wide. This is India's first attempt to create a green wall, an idea that is inspired by a similar project in Africa. So where is this project happening? India's green wall will happen in the Aravalli mountain range. The Aravallis is an important ecological zone in India and is considered the lifeline for India's national capital region and Delhi. So creating green wall at Aravalli sounds remarkable, isn't it? But why do we have to get to a situation where we have to create a green wall? To understand this, let us look into the history, which will give you the perspective of why this green wall is so significant. India's geology is not about seas in the south and the Himalayas in the north. India's geography is incredibly diverse and dynamic, offering a blend of varied landscape, including a vast desert. Located in the northwest, the Thar Desert is India's largest desert and the 18th largest desert in the world. The Thar Desert covers the eastern parts of India in the state of Rajasthan. As you would expect, the desert is known for its arid landscape, sand dunes, and extreme temperature. This desert could have expanded to a larger area of India if it was not for the Aravalli Hills. The Aravalli mountain range acts as a division or a barrier that separates the Thar Desert from the plains and the plateaus of the eastern Rajasthan. These mountains have stood for over 3 billion years and are counted as one of the oldest fold mountain system in the world. It stretches for about 700 kilometers across 4 states in northwest India from Gujarat all the way to Delhi through Rajasthan and Haryana. Aravalli is a hybrid terrain of valleys, hills, plateaus, ridges and mountain peaks. Studies indicate that in ancient times, Aravalli was extremely high, but since has been worn down by millions of years of weathering. The Aravallis, with its vast landscape and biological diversity, have shaped the landscape of India in more ways than one. They act as a barrier against the wind carrying the sand from the Thar Desert and preventing it from entering the eastern region, thus curbing the spread of the desert. The hills also act as a river catchment area where water collects when it rains. This also meant that region of Aravalli provided a conducive environment for rich biodiversity and habitat to a wide variety of endemic flora and fauna. Many mammals, including leopards, striped hyenas, Indian foxes, Indian crested porcupines, are part of this natural landscape. The mountains are also rich in mineral resources like copper, zinc, lead, and marble. The abundance of resources that mountainous region provided started seeing human settlements from Stone Age times, which archaeological excavations have revealed. Over the years, multiple dynasties came to rule this land, and Aravallis became an integral part of the cultural landscape. In the last 1,000 years, many majestic forts and temples were built on the Aravalli Hills, which showcase the rich cultural and historical heritage of the region. Many of them still stand, displaying their past glory and grandeur. It is on these Aravalli Hills that second largest wall in the world after Great Wall of China is built, protecting the Kumbhalgarh fort. Chittorgarh Fort, another large fort in India, is situated on these mountains. Amer Fort in Jaipur, one of India's most majestic and beautiful palaces, with millions of tourists visiting this place, lies cradled on the top of the Aravalli Hill. In addition, there are other architectural marvels that also offer glimpses into ancient cultural practices and stories of dynasties that once ruled these lands. But you might ask, why are you mentioning about forts and culture amidst a discussion of a green wall? This is to make you understand the bustling economic activities that were happening in last so many years. Along with other business activities, the practice of mining was very much prevalent. Based on carbon dating, the mining of copper and other metals in the Aravalli Range dates back to at least the 5th century BCE. As years went by, more rulers came and extracted these mineral resources. This was only aggravated by rapid industrialization and economic development in the 20th and the 21st century. Add to that unplanned urbanization, infrastructure expansion, waste dumping, and industrial pollution. Aravalli Range, which was once a biodiversity hotspot, slowly went downhill and land degraded. In 2019, a government report highlighted the disappearance of more than 24 hills in Aravallis. Reports have also revealed that in the last 40 years or so, nearly 8% of forests in Aravallis have been reduced. Thankfully, in the last 20 years or so, some interventions were made. India's Supreme Court prohibited mining and quarrying activity in ecologically sensitive regions. Then there is an active role played by citizen groups and NGOs in raising awareness about the importance of these hills and advocating for their protection. Despite this, there is no getting away from instances of illegal mines and flouting of rules. Deforestation and land degradation continues to happen and is a matter of serious concern. If strong measures are not taken, the vast landscape in North India could become arid with severe impact on the ecology. How can this severe problem be addressed? That's where Green Wall come into the picture. The Green Wall Project will include planting of native species on scrubland, wasteland, and degraded forest. The Green Wall Project will be spread over 75 villages around the Aravalli Range. An estimated 10 million trees are expected to be planted in the next decade. The Green Corridor will act as a barrier against the dust coming in from the deserts in the western part of the continent. It will also focus on restoring water bodies such as ponds, lakes, and streams. Another focus will be agroforestry and pasture development to enhance the livelihoods of local communities. This reforestation exercise will help the Indian government's commitment to achieve the national goal of creating additional 2.5 billion tons of carbon sink by 2030. As we mentioned earlier, the project has been conceptualized on the lines of African Green Wall Program, which stretches over 8,000 kilometers across 11 countries from Senegal in West Africa to Djibouti in the eastern side of the African continent. This African Green Belt project, launched in 2007, was meant to act as a defensive flank against climate change, desertification, and other forms of land degradation. However, the project has fallen short of its targets due to lack of coordination among the countries involved. Despite the challenges, the Green Wall initiatives represent critical efforts to address pressing environmental and social issues. Successful implementation of India's Green Wall Plan can serve as a models for other regions facing similar issues. Finally, we can say Aravalli Hills are an important cultural and natural heritage of India, playing a crucial role in shaping the geography, culture, and lifestyle of the people. It is essential to take immediate action to protect these hills from further degradation and conserve them for future generations to enjoy. Hopefully, Green Wall would become one such climate action. Thank you.